I'm living my dream, like I know I'm still at the beginning of my career, but like I'm already living my dream. Like I'm already traveling for music. I've been paid to share my music and share love with people. And it's the best feeling ever. It's when something that you think it's bad that happens to you is just life that tell you something about you. Like that you need to check it to yourself, check what is happening, why you're reacting. Main point is to put myself into priority. I am my priority. My well-being is my priority, and nobody, even no my family, can go between me and my well-being, When I'm on periods, when I don't, like that's where I feel like it, because I know that I already could make it. So not being able to make it again, that makes me feel very bad.
Join the journey, stay for a while.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of KohPhanCast, the official podcast of Copenhagen Island. This week with me, Jamila goes by the name Rose. Jamila is a DJ, entrepreneur, music producer, label owner, and honestly, all around and beautiful human being, young, 26-year-old, and still also tons of followers on Instagram. She's driving through her dream. And honestly, people with energy like that deserve a place to be heard at. So I want to thank you so much for being here with me. Like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, guys. Let's go. Let me know what you thought about the conversation in the comments. And yeah, KohPhanCast. Let's go. Enjoy the episode. Jamila.
Bonjour.
Super good to have you here with me.
Thank you for having me.
Honestly, so far, you've been the surprise of the year. You came out of nowhere. And, just being able to discover this kind of person, that is from one side, young and super full of themselves in the best way possible. It's like seeing someone that is 140% dedicated to the thing that they know they want to do, and a person that is driven by passion and driven by honesty and truth and the desire to help themselves and others, and it's beautiful to see. And thank you for surprising us out of nowhere, because sometimes it happens. And for the people out there that does not know you, you want to give us 30, 40 seconds about yourself?
Sure. So I'm Jamila. I'm from Spain and Morocco, but I was born in Switzerland, where I live also. And I'm a DJ producer. I play Psytrance, Techno, and Techno. And I also have my label, my events, and that's kind of all.
That's kind of all in the subjects that you are dealing with, but we have a lot to dive into. So let's start from the beginning. What was your first encounter with music?
So with music in general, that was my father. He really put me into music, but in all genres of music, like rock, old French music, Arabic music. I was really all my life into so much styles. And a few months before my 18th, I discovered Techno. That was a friend that take me out, because it was a period where I was very sad because of heartbroken. And when I hear Techno for the first time, it was how to say it in English, when you fell directly in love.
Yeah.
That's what happened with Techno. And then since my 18th, I was every weekend in clubs to feel the bass. It was a need. I needed to have bass in my face every week. So that's kind of how I started with my relationship with music. And then few weeks, months before COVID, I bought my first controller. And then that was a revelation. Like when I got it in my hand, I was like, that's what I'm gonna do in my life. Like this was an evidence.
So you were the first person that I ever heard calling, like saying the word techno. You know, because it's because of the CH.
Yes.
And I'm like, the first time I was like, what the fuck is, what's techno? But I'm like, yeah, it kind of makes sense when you come from a country that like the pronunciation is kind of.
It's not about this. It's like because in Switzerland or like where we speak French, like we say techno. It's just because I play so techno that is wrote with a K. That's a hard sound that came from free parties. I think it came from France. I'm not sure, but that's a genre. And techno, like techno, but we CH is like the casual techno, like we all know.
Yeah.
And it's just to be able to make the difference, because in my head I really difference these genres.
Yeah, that's
So-
a hard word. It's differentiate.
Yeah.
Like it's like, fuck this word. So it's very general, you know, like 2024, 2025. It's like everybody calls everything that is not trance techno, you know. But when you say techno, you don't mean like progressive house or this melodic techno. You mean different kind of techno. What
Like-
kind of techno do you mean?
For me, the like casual techno, it's like typical Amelie Lent, Charlotte de Witte, like this bunker peak time techno. And then like, but for me, like techno is like the big family. In this big family, there is house, there is groovy, there is hard techno, same as psytrance. There is psytrance, but there is all the genre,
Yeah.
high tech, progressive, twilight, and everything. So it's just for me the big families, like because also in techno with K, it's one big family because inside there is a lot of Thai, French,
Most of techno has some K in it, if you know what I mean. You know, like those times, people are fucking crazy. But what I wanted to ask you, your first gig, you bought a controller, you had fun, you played again and again and again. Do you remember the first time you went up against crowd and was like, that's the shit?
Yeah, like first time I played in front of people was in COVID. We organized a small party with friends with like 30, 50 people. So I don't consider it as my first gig. My first gig was also during COVID, because in Switzerland, during the first COVID, they reopened clubs for 3 months. And it was been like, I don't know, like maybe 6, 7 months that I started to DJing at home. And where I live in Lausanne, we have like one techno club, that's the club. And also a small one, folklore, that is more house, and there was one night per week at this time that there was more house sounds. And I sent to both clubs a message like, hello, I don't know if I can do it, but I really wanted to play. So here is one of my sets. Bisous. And folklore never answered to me. And the club answered and says like, okay, who don't try, don't get. So I will listen it. And then he wrote me the day after, like, okay, you go quite hard. We don't go a lot of hard in the club, like just 1 or 2 nights per year at this time. Like, sadly, I didn't see your message before, because you know I would put you like last Friday or the 7th August, but I keep you in mind. I was like, okay, nice.
Good enough for me.
Super cool. And like few days after, he wrote me like, hello, I like compressed the lineup to the 7th August to put you in the closing. So I make the closing of SPF DJ. I don't know if you know her, like kind of big head. And yeah, that was my first gig at home, the club.
And how did it feel, like going from a person that has a dream to a person that is standing there? Because that was the start of your, not, I don't want to say career because it's much deeper than that. That was the start of your understanding that what you can perceive clearly in your mind can happen in reality. How does it feel to learn this lesson for the first time? Career-wise.
Like it was not with this gig that I realized this.
Career-wise.
Yeah, but like no, but I like for me I put it together because when I starting to realize this because of podcast I listened from Chloe Bloom. I like the day I got my controller, I already realized that we all can do everything we want. So I instantly knew that I could make it, make all my dreams and make the car I want. So when I could make this first gig was not like, okay, I see it can happen because I already knew it. It was just like, I was like just so happy to play. Like I was like, okay, I'm playing. Like it was more like so much happiness, like more than okay, now I realize that I can make it, because it was already so deep in me that I know that I'm gonna make it. So it was just full of happiness that it's happening, like.
And also the fact that like at some point you're just being yourself over there, and you understand that the moment you will do the things that come to you naturally, it will feel natural for you. And you being there on the stage is not frightening or you're not anxious or whatever, because you know that this is the thing that you want to do. And you know that because you want to do it so much, then you do it, then it makes you like become this flame of energy when you're out there. And like we've done with the first gig, how does the first days of you as a musician, as a DJ, what were the first steps that you've done in order to create the place that you live in right now?
Well, I was still studying at this time. And as I said, it was COVID. Clubs open only for like 3 months. So then everything closed again. So I take this opportunity because as I was studying, I was like then no classes for almost 1 year. So I got just all the time to just play and make some podcasts, start to build my Instagram and to show people that I can play, I can do good stuff. And then when clubs reopened in July 2021, a girl that I met in Zurich in a club like before COVID, she was following me in Instagram, and in Instagram I put all my evolution, like from the first steps I make on the controller to the podcast and everything. So she was organizing parties and she wrote me like, hello, I saw your evolution. I saw that now you can play. Would you be in to make a closing in Zurich? And I was like, let's fucking go. And then I already had like a good camera, like a GoPro. And friends filmed like this gig. And the post make like, I don't know, more than 1,000 of like. And I was like less than 2,000 of followers. Like it gets so well. And then like in this video, we catch the vibe that there is in my sets,
Yeah.
It's in my sets. It's really sharing of energy, love, and like it's an experience, and we could felt it. So then very naturally, like I starting to get requests to play in Switzerland, in France, and that's how it's started.
What do you think about the fact that like these days, like 20 years ago, a person that is a DJ could have just like make music, do his music, and these days we all, no matter if we're both DJs, we're both event planners, we're both whatever, you gotta be first of all social media manager. You gotta be first of all open enough to just let people into your life, constantly pump content, because if you're not gonna do it, you're gonna be forgotten in a second. What's your relationship with this kind of side of the work that was kind of forced on us?
Like I know a lot of producer DJs like hate this part. Personally, I can like it. Like it just takes time. So sometimes like I need to make it, but I love it. I love to be the center of the attention, you know? Like
Yeah.
I love being in front of the camera, making the pretty pose, like so I'm really okay with this part. Like for me it's part of the game. And like as I said, as I love like being in front of camera and for me it's okay. I can like it. I like to post like every day in stories. Like yeah, for me it's okay. It's I'm lucky to be like like confident in general in front of camera and blah blah. So like it's not a struggle for me to film myself and so no, it's
From the beginning, it was like that?
yeah.
Did you feel like, okay, you might have been like good with it no matter when it were, but like, you think your relationship with it like evolved, changed? Like what are the things that you're doing those days, like these days, kind of different that what you used to do at the start of it, you know?
Like before being DJ, I using like Instagram as I think everyone, like just when I want to post something cool, I was posting something cool. Now it's more like that I know that I need to have quality content. So I also invest into good shootings, into ads. Like I know it's important to have videographers to follow me when I play, to have good content. So just I'm take it more in a professional way. But that's the main difference, because if not, I'm still sharing when I want to share things like my travels, like my good moments. So yeah, that's
And you already, okay, you're in the social media environment. People are starting to get you to gigs. Like, when did you start with more of the touring and like the experience of like, okay, this thing, I knew that I can do it. I knew that, like you said, we all can do whatever we want. And if we put our mind to it, if we put our energy to it, we can do it. But then it happens physically. And it's kind of different than thinking like, oh yeah, I can do it when you did, you know, how does that feel? Guide me through the time that you felt like, oh, I'm kind of exploding.
This travel I'm making, this is the first real tour. Like, because I already played one time outside of Europe, but it was in Japan, and it was gigs that I organized because I was going in Japan. Because from 1 or 2 years, wherever I travel, I go like, hey, I will be on the country, so no need to pay flight and blah blah blah. So that's how I get in Japan. But this tour in Thailand and India, I get requests. So people out of Europe wanted me, and that was so my first feeling that I'm living my dream. You know, like I know I'm still at the beginning of my career. It's gonna go very big, but like I'm already living my dream. Like I'm already traveling for music. I've been paid to share my music and share love with people, and it's the best feeling ever. Like it's the best feeling ever.
What's going on in your heart when you truly understand the fact that like you are making money from your dream, and you are following your inner guidance that tells you that you want to do it? Like, how does it feel being aligned with your goals?
Like for me, it's like the best happiness we can have, I think. Like the best feeling of accomplishment, alignment, and I'm very grateful in universe for everything, but also I'm grateful to myself because I know it's because all the trust I put in myself that I'm here. So it's just like love with myself, love with life. Like it's just deep love.
Was your relationship with yourself like that always? Do you remember times when you didn't have this full-on trust in yourself, in the universe?
Sure, because like I just like first of all was young, so was like didn't put conscience on things, has still like a lot of fears, lot of unconscious behaviors, and I all my life knew that I wanted to make a job that I enjoy. I didn't knew what, but all my life that was my goal, to enjoy my days. But I didn't knew what, and I was not into this relationship with myself. Like was just living life like a young person.
Yeah, automatic.
Exactly. And then with the podcast from Chloe Bloom, I started to put conscience on my body, on the life, on how life works, and all these kind of things.
And how did that shift felt? Like, do you remember the first time that you like looked at the mirror all in yourself and you were like, oh shit, like I flicked the switch, I'm conscious now?
Yeah, like it's not make from day a day, but I was like just so happy and grateful to be able to realize this, because that's where I have like, okay, I can do whatever I want. And that's an amazing feeling, is as same feeling as you discover superpower, like you're really like, okay, I really can do whatever I want. So there is no barrier, like, and so life take another dimension, another, like, I don't know how to, yeah.
Say it in French, I might understand. Yeah, and something about your energy that just tells it, like since the moment we kind of met each other, I was like, okay, this girl is there for herself. She know what she wants, but she's not like this kind of person that she know what she wants, but she's like, okay, I'm gonna do it like a little bit here, a little bit there. I'm gonna try to chill. Like you're full in, if it's like DJing, working on your set, treating yourself like you're a machine. And then on top of everything, you're also managing, like owning a label. Let's go a little bit through that experience. Like, at what point in your career did you tell yourself, okay, now I want to open a label?
First of all, like I always had like Amelie Lenz as a DJ goal career, and like she has Excel, that's her events, and she make collaboration with Awakenings, and like it's very big, it's associated with her, like Excel, Amelie Lenz, Excel. And as I always playing a lot of different genres, and I never saw a label with this different genre in the same label, So I don't know, it was an evidence that I wanted to have my own label, to be able to have like new tracks in my vision, and that represents me and my artistic direction. And I say to myself, like, the faster I create my label, the more it will grow with me. So that's how it started. Like, so I think 2 years ago I started my label, kind of.
Yeah. And tips for new guys out there: if you want to get gigs, the easiest way is to just create the gigs, to be able to make parties, you want to release music, kind of open a label. you run with it, like more in the party side, like just being able to make a party to allow yourself and people that you want to shine out to come to you and play, and automatically you will come to them as well. Like, because the DJ community worldwide is kind of separated last years, like you have this part of DJs in the world that are like, oh, I'm not getting opportunities, and it's always the same names, all at the same parties, and the same people get all the attention, and this and that. I think that point of view is like a victim point of view. Everybody's against me. Nobody wants me inside. Blah, 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 blah. Bullshit. The other side are just innovators, creators, true creators, not a person that like fucking put a reel on Instagram and now I'm an influencer. A real creator, a person that wants to bring value to others, that wants to be able to help and shift and support others. Which gets me to the next idea that you had, the clean parties. Let's shed some light on this, please.
Okay, so clean party, Alwarda clean party. So I don't know if I say it, but Alwarda is my label.
Yeah, you didn't say it.
Okay. So Alwarda clean party are parties with the same artistic duration as my casual party, so with Techno, Aspirations. But it's gonna happen during the day, so from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. And no alcohol, no drugs. Because it's been a few years that I really wanted to share a kind of clean, healthy vibe of rave. Because on my side, I never associate music and drugs. Like for me, it's like two different things. I made my experience, but I never associate music and drugs. And for me, it makes me sad to see all the amount of people that associate music and like most of like underground music and drugs. So I really wanted to share this from a few years, but I didn't knew how. And like in January, a friend told me about some tea parties in Zurich, like no alcohol, no drugs. And when he told me about this kind of party, like I was like, we need this kind of party, but with big sounds. Because most of the time, this kind of clean parties, like consume,
Ecstatic dance?
exciting dance.
Yeah, especially in KPG, people love this shit here, yeah.
It's like more with chill sounds, to go more like deep inside. And for me, what keep me alive in club and in nights, it's energetic, big sound, So I was like, I need to make this, but with big sound. So I make a story. I ask to my followers, like, okay, would you be in to have like a party during the day with no alcohol, no drug, and huge sound, like big sound, big kicks, like fast music? And I was so surprised with all the amount of people that was looking for this kind of party, all the artists that want this kind of party, because people don't want to be into temptation or to be surrounded all around drug people and want just to enjoy music. And I know there is a lot of people that don't go out anymore because they know they're not gonna be able to say no to drugs or, So when I saw all the amount of people that was like looking for this kind of party, I was like, okay, let's do it. So like 1 month after, I think, I asked like a few before, I asked to a friend in Paris if he would be in to help me to organize something there. And like in February, we got the answer that we got a club that really loved the idea. Like he really, really loved the concept. So we make our first Alwarda Clean Party the 18th May in Paris.
And that's great because people need that as well. People need to be able to have an outlet that is not correlated with how much powders have they sniffed or how much tabs of acid they shoved in their face. Because all the drug abuse and the drug epidemic that is happening out there, that is clubbing and raving and whatever, and like you said to me in private once, it's, if I cannot party without drugs, I just rather not at all. Because I see no reason that the only way I can actually be on the dance floor and have fun is because my mind is not there. Like how bad my relationship with myself needs to be in order for me to have fun only when it's disconnected. And which leads me to a different question, because before you were a DJ, before you were a producer, before you were label management, you were human. And your perception of the world resembles my own, which I had a couple times that it was like super shocking that like I'm thinking something and you're like telling me what I'm thinking at the exact word that I'm thinking it in. So were you always like, of course not conscious because we all were automatic when we were kids, but since you remember yourself, did you always have this more conscience? This word is so like this conscious and conscious community and this and that and here and there, but just, a heart of a person that is not really bad, that has not, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Was more like I started to smoke weed very early. I smoked weed every day since my 15 years old, I think, until my this January. I make 1-2 pause, but and as I said, when I discovered techno, I felt totally in love. Like it's my biggest relationship ever, and my most beautiful. And I was afraid about drugs because I knew how I was quickly addicted to weed. And that was the reflection I had, like very quickly, that I know that drugs exist. I know how I am with weed. And for me, it's not possible to be addicted to this kind of drugs, because as I said, for me, it's not possible to be in, like, to need drugs to go to listen techno, and that was just natural and easy for me because like I loved so much techno that I just wanted to make everything to save my relation with techno. That was the kind of mindset.
And honestly, what you said once, that the fact that once we've been knowing for 48 hours, so the fact that like when you are sober, when you're DJing, the energy that you can give the crowd is so much more clean, is so much more accurate, because you don't have any mind altering substance in you that can make the energy that you give. Because the moment you up there and you decide the rhythm of the night and all of that, you give part of your soul, part of your energy to them, whether you want it or not. So as a person that is being like sober when they do it, like, do you have ways that like, do you build your sets based on a feeling that you want your crowd to feel, or based on a journey that you want them to go through, or you want yourself to go through? What are your thought processes when you're approaching a new crowd, a new venue, a new idea for a set?
It's just about to make a coherent set regarding the night, depending on the lineup, who's playing before, who's playing after, what kind of genre. So I my construction of my set will be by genre, because the emotion are like, most of my track is like or vibey, you want to dance, or it's pitch, like there is no like kind of emotional moment, or like it's always just vibing and having fun, like it's more about
You're not here to hug us.
No. It's more about
yeah.
So yeah, it's more about just making something current into the night, because I really love to take people from a point to another in a smoothly way. That's what I love to do, like construct like long sets, going through different genre and make it smoothly, and prepare for the others, or like yeah.
And in a different, like completely different subject, growing in Switzerland, how does that look like?
I loved it. The quality of life is amazing. It's very expensive. Even more, like for me as a DJ, my fee is not adapted of where I live. If I was living in France or in other country out in Europe, I could be already able to live only from music. But as I live in Switzerland and fee is not adapted, like I still have a side job. But instead of that, it's expensive. I think we have one of the best quality of life. Well, no, it depends on perspective, of course, but
easy.
But no, I love like it's peaceful, it's calm. Politically, it's really like
stable,
and we all have like kind of power into like the country.
And as a kid, growing up in Switzerland
was okay. Like was there is a lake. I was on I was on my friends, and like it was good. Like I don't have other comparison to say if like, but I enjoy my life. I enjoyed like growing in Switzerland, and I don't want to leave for the moment. Like maybe I go in Barcelona 1 year. But my goal is to have my basement in Switzerland, to keep there, to be close to my family, to my close friends, my nephews.
And like I always try to see if there's a correlation between where someone grew up in and the way they treat themselves or the way they act towards others. Like, do you see any mirroring between, like, it might be a stupid question, yeah, but
no, I see.
From like values that people grow on in Switzerland? And because I know a couple of people from Switzerland so far, and there's this correlation between you guys of certain calmness and like I think I know 3 people from Switzerland, and all 3 of them are super strict into their things and like super productive, and like seems like not too much trauma, like it's
no like yes, in general Switzerland we have like a nice like it's really respectful country, like we all kind of respect the rules, like kind of like we have this discipline in general in the country, but I think like I got from my father like the Moroccan culture, and I think it's more here that I got my strengths and my because I needed to fight against the mentality from there, where it's very put women not equal to men. Like now with the years, I know that was not a bad intention, was kind of way to protect me, but make it in a bad way. Yeah. So when you're young, you don't feel it like this, and that I really needed to fight all my life for me, my values, my needs, and my security, you know. So all my life, I needed to say to all of everyone, like even my family, like, fuck you, I know what is good to me, and if you're not happy, same. Like, and
It feels like you didn't say fuck them like 2 years, 2 days ago you met me and you started saying fuck you. I don't think you would have said it. I'm a bad influence. No.
No, I had to say, like, I was on a point that I was ready to lose some of my family because my protection and my security and my well-being was more important of everything. But I knew I was aligned, and when you're aligned and you fight for yourself, the rest comes. And now everything with all my family, all members are amazing.
So where do you think it comes from? Like, because I truly believe that everything that happens to us from the other side is a direct cause of what happens in us, between us and ourselves. So what do you think changed in the relationship that you have with yourself that allowed you to go deeper into those family members that at the start you thought you need to separate yourself from, and how your relationship with yourself changed it and allowed you to keep them in your life?
Because it teach me to put me to put myself into my priority, and to don't to don't take care of what the other people says or can think. Like, I had to accept that some of people, most of close of me, thought that I'm an egoist, and I had to accept that people can think this kind of things about me, even if it's not true. And it's just make my relation with me more stronger, because I'm like, I know myself, I know my intentions, and always when I'm aligned, everything goes well. Sometimes it takes more times, but all this situation could happen in my life just makes me like more close to me, more like the main point is to put myself into priority. I am my priority. My well-being is my priority, you know, like, and nobody, even though my family, can go between me and my well-being, you know. That was a strongest point that all the things make.
Yeah, because our well-being will end up being the thing that others see from us. Because when we take care of ourselves, we shine, we are brighter, people resonate with us. But when we think about others before we think, like when we think about giving things to others, before we choose to give them to ourselves, we can see part of ourselves being taken, from others, even if it's friends, family members, workers, but whatever. Sometimes, like, what are the core values that you think a person needs to have, in our industry and generally, as humans? What do you think a person should keep in mind for them to keep themselves in check, that they're taking care of themselves?
For me, it started with the food. Like, our body allow us to make everything in this life. So, like, the food is our gasolina, fuel, like gasolina.
Same.
So for me, it's the most important part of taking care of ourselves is to give the nice nutriment to our body. And then to be gentle with ourselves. Like, that's still a part that I'm really working on it, because I'm really tolerant with everyone, but with myself, I'm like, only see the bad things I make, only like the brain. Like,
You don't have to tell me about it. Be sure. Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I've been crying on this platform for like 8 months already about my relationship with myself. It's all good. Yeah, I definitely can see, and I already said it. I super resonate with the places that you're coming from in your heart and in your mind, because I'm exactly at the same place. It's so much easier to look at ourselves and say, "Oh, this is shit. This is not good. This could have been better. This could." But it all depends where it's come from. Does it come from? Do you think it comes from a place that it became your fuel? That you see that you don't listen, but you hear this voice in your head that tells you you're not enough, the things you're doing is not good enough, or whatever it is. And does it push you to do better, or does it get you into like a pit in your mind, which is like, oh, I'm not good enough?
It depends. Like, sometimes, some moment of my life it makes me bad, because the thing is that I had some periods where I do things better than other periods. For example, I had periods where I woke up so early, eating always good, making some sport and blah blah. And so when I'm on periods when I don't, like, that's where I feel like shit, because I know that I already could make it. So not being able to make it again, that makes me feel very bad. But now I'm really working on it, to be gentle with myself, and just like to see what I'm already building, what all I do, and all the time I take for myself. And yes, in a few months, I'm way more gentle and tolerant with myself. Like, and if I don't eat well, sometimes it's okay. If sometimes I also take some things, it's okay. Like, it's kind of balance. Like, for me, the most important is that most of the time I'm doing good for my body. I taking care of myself, I eat well, I do sports. And if sometimes I still go a bit out of it, then I conscience this, I try to get back, and I'm not like, oh, why you did this? I'm like, okay, let's go back. It's okay. Maybe you enjoy, you have nice taste in the mouth, you have like good moments with friends. It's okay, and just try to be gentle. And that's why also I make the Aloha clean party, is to make it easier, because when you are surrounded by people that have the main goals as you, or the same directions, so it's the collective make it so easier. So that's also why I made this clean party, because most of the time in rave or in clubs, I'm one of the only clean person, and they are all surprised. And then you see them having fun in another way. So sometimes you still need to. Sometimes it's easy. Like, I just don't want any. I'm like, I don't want to be out of myself. And sometimes like, they are having fun like this, and sometimes I need to fight with temptation, So being able to make clean parties where everyone is clean and I'm not the weird, and I can't wait. Like, it's gonna be amazing. And also I can't wait to show people that, like, show how we can have fun without. Because I know a lot of people also take always when they go out, because they think that they can enjoy without. Most of the time, because they never try without drugs or alcohol, you know?
Of course, because they're super in their comfort zone. I don't think it's about drugs or no drugs. I think it's about breaking the chain of staying in your comfort zone. And if your comfort zone is doing drugs at parties, then not doing drugs at parties is out of your comfort zone and you're gonna stay in. So it always come back to this stupid fucking bullshit that we have in our brain, little monkeys, you know, that the moment we do something more than twice, that's it. That's our routine. That's the way we want to do it. We don't want to look left. We don't want to look right. We want to just proceed with the bullshit that we're doing because it's comfort. Because it's comfortable for us to just, you know, like we talked about it also, like it's like the thing that needs to change for you to get out of your comfort zone is to get used to the idea that things are constantly changing, that your comfort zone will end up locking you at a place of a cycle. You're not going to progress. You're not going to get better. You're not going to evolve. You're just going to stay where you are. And that's the most comfortable shit, because if you already familiar with the way you feel when you do something, then it will feel good. It will feel accepted, not even good. But the thing that is scary to us, I think, as I see it, is not the other thing that we are going to do to get out of our comfort zone. Is just the fact that we're going to change something. Why do you think change is so scary to people?
Because the unknown. Like, and most of the people are scared about things they don't know. You know, like, even if our comfort zone is something like désagréable, uncomfortable. Like, even if our comfort zone is uncomfortable,
Yeah.
like, it's what we know. So, yeah, I don't know why the brain is so afraid about unknown things, you know, like
Survival mode, I think.
yeah.
I think it's just your body has one goal: to stay alive. That's existent. And your mind, your body, and your soul will do anything to keep you alive. So from one side, hooray ego, I'm alive for like 30 years already. But from the other side, what did I achieve by only staying alive? You know, how can I feel you. I feel you. I told you already, that's the latest podcast I've ever done. We're both on, it's all good. Yeah. So it's so easy for us to just exist, you know, and the moment I took on myself the fact that life that happens only to exist, only to survive, is not a life worth living. And if I will not chase my dreams, my passions, every single minute and every single breath that comes in and out of my body, this shit does not worth anything. And it comes from huge periods of depressions that nothing seemed like it has any meaning or whatever. But we don't understand that the loss of meaning creates such new perspective of life, because the moment you don't need hope anymore, like, hope keeps you separated from actually doing as I see it, because you're like, oh, I wish that would happen and I wish this would happen. But if you say I wish, you're actively not saying it will happen. You're giving like a gap to the possibility that it's not going to work. So just being able to, like you said, I know that I'm going to the place that I want to go to. I know that I'm going to achieve the things that I want to achieve. Not because I think I am worthy, or not because people told me, or I'm talented or whatever, just because I have the persistency in myself and the patience to just grind day by day, you know. And if it comes to our environment, industry, if that's your next reel can explode, your next story can explode, your next set can explode. Who knows what's going to be the next piece of content that you're gonna put out, that someone is gonna look at and say, this girl.
I think a big part also is the trust into myself and trust into universe, life, God, whatever you know. Like,
no judge. I'm not judging anyone. You can believe whatever you want. I don't care. I don't really care, honestly. Yeah.
Like, for me, it's a big part because I know I do everything because I trust in myself. Like, and I really hope everyone could trust in themselves the way I trust in myself, because it allows you to make everything you want.
Yeah, and then I'm thinking about it again. You know, I trust myself. When we go through this spiritual path of discovering what myself even means, you know, like we go so deep in ourselves, and the deeper we go in ourselves, we see that the deepest part of being myself is the collective consciousness that we all share. So the more inside I go within myself, the more outside I understand that I am just a piece of sand in a desert of whatever it is out there.
Yeah, but
do I trust myself, or do I trust the human ability to go?
Yeah, in my side, when I trust in myself, when I started to trust in myself, it's because I knew that every human has infinity capacity. You know, it's not that I'm better than the other ones. No.
She said she's better.
No, it's not that at all. It's just that I know we all are fucking amazing and we all can do whatever we want. It's just that I know, so I know that there is no barrier, so let's go. And that's how I get the trust in myself. It's because I know we are all incredibles. Like, it's more about this, you know, like.
Yeah, it's like living in the box that you created yourself in your mind. And the moment you start, you actually like manage to leave the box, you understand that the box never existed from the first place. Because the only reason this box was real in your mind was because this box was needed to continue to have you surviving. Because if this box, those rules, those whatever in the society is implementing in our brains, just to be another screw of the system, to think that we're too small, to think that we are not good enough by ourselves, to think that theories like lonely wolves, you know, like I can succeed by myself, I don't need anyone. We all need someone. We all need a perspective that is not judging us, to be able to just look at ourselves as we are and just be able to accept ourselves. Because I think that's the biggest problem of our generation, is that we lack the ability to just be good friends of ourselves. Because we see ourselves from so close, then we are always going around like, this wasn't good enough, that wasn't good enough, in this aspect I can do better, at that aspect I can do better. But why is it so hard for us to just look at the mirror once in a while and be like, I'm doing good?
I don't know. I think there is a part of they like.
We or they? You need to decide.
They don't teach.
They. She went with they. Sure.
No, we don't teach us like our parents, or I don't know, like to accept the bad part of ourselves, like also like even me, like now I'm still learning to accept all my dark sides, like and I think when you can embrace these dark sides and accept them, so have more control on them, and I think then it's more easier to not blame you when they appears, like because I think most of the time we are not good with us is because, oh, you've been lazy, you've been blah, blah, you've been not enough, or and just to be able to say like, yes, sometimes I'm a liar, yes, sometimes I'm lazy, yes, like I think it's a way of to helps a lot to be more gentle with yourself, like but it's something that, because society like when you act bad or like kind of like very bad or like, for example, I needed to accept that people can think that I'm a bad person because, for example, I have the really easy no. Like when I don't want, like for example, some people to come in my party or with my friends, I'm like, no, sorry, we just want to stay together. And if the person want to say to me that I'm so egoist or bad person or not gentle, I'm like, okay, and I think it's a work to accept that people can find you. And sometimes, yeah, it's needed to be sometimes a bit rough or a bit, like.
Yes.
But it's not easy because it's not on the society eyes. It's not good things,
The moment we understand that the version of us that exists in other people's mind is not us, it's their own story, and again, it's their survival mode telling them, oh, for me to feel justified with myself and feel that my actions are good enough, I'm gonna think that this person is this. And I'm going to think that this person is that because it's reassuring the way I perceive myself. Because most of the time when we are getting angry at other people, we're not getting angry at them. We're getting angry at our standards of life. Because I look at someone, he's doing something that gets me mad. I'm not mad at him. I'm mad at the thoughts in my brain that he has done something that by my standards is not good. So who am I mad on? And where is the anger?
That's all the process with ourselves.
We sometimes feel kind of stupid because why would I dedicate even 1 second thinking about something that I know that I have? I want to use the word control, but I don't want to use the word control because also control is an illusion. But just surrender to the fact that life will happen exactly like they happen, with us, without us, if we do something, if we don't do it. The book is getting written exactly the same pace, with exactly the same words, with exactly the same destination, as I believe. But what does change if we take responsibility on our actions, and if we're being conscious to ourselves and we're not lying to ourselves, and we are good to our surroundings, the way to the destination that is already predestined will be a little nicer.
Way more.
Way
more easier. Like, I think the main point to know in life, it's when something that you think it's bad that happens to you is just life that tell you something about you, like that you need to check into yourself, check what is happening, why you're reacting. And when you take conscious of that, then bad things are just teachings, like.
And even one step further, because when you truly understand what you just said, you understand that the bad things has equal amount of importance, maybe even more important than the good things. Because when good things happen, we usually just sit there and enjoy it, just have fun with it. But when bad shit happens and we're getting like, you know, a little thing on our hand or like a little burn or whatever, we're gonna be more cautious.
That's why I love the term teaching, you know, because it's really like, okay, what happened is gonna teach me something about myself. And yeah, I think it's the best way to live this life, like peacefully and flowing. And yeah, sometimes it's like not agreeable, like not like it can be this like not comfortable.
Yeah.
It can be very not comfortable, but then when you go through it, like let's go again, you know, like
What do you think about people that say that women DJs has their way much easier?
well, I can agree, because now we are in a period where clubs and people in general wants to kind of balance the lineup between male and female. I know I got opportunities into gigs because I was a woman. I also know that I do good job and like I perform my set, I have a vibe, like I know I'm not what I am just because I'm a girl. But I know that it helps me. Like I know there is, for example, the club. I wrote one message and he get me. There is a lot of friends that I know that are writing to the club since few years and they got no answer.
Yeah, you heard it first here, guys. She doesn't give a fuck about male fucking DJs. Nobody does.
Like, for me, I don't agree with this mindset because for me it's music first. But yes, it serves me. So I'm happy because for time that it's better to be a woman for one point. Like, it's make it nice, you know, like, but I like, for me, I doesn't associate my career just because I'm a woman. Just I know it's put me some opportunities. But no, they can say, but I know it's not about this, you know, like I know all the work I put into, all the passion, all the love, and I know that's the main point that make where I am, you know.
What's the next step for you?
Well, continue my journey into this career, make bigger and bigger festivals, continue to make Aloha clean party all around Europe.
Yeah. And I'm rocking my rose shirt that she said she's not gonna leave me, but she probably will. Look, that's pretty smart.
Aloha. Yeah.
Oh, that's smart, yeah. Jamila, I want to thank you so much for being here with me because your character is honestly one of the cleaner ones I've met lately. And like I started, that's how I'm going to end. Like, you're so true to yourself and to your work, and every second that we saw you there playing for our event, thank you for that, and whatever else you're doing, it looks like that's the place that you're supposed to be. And it looks like you're 26 now, you could have been 76, and your face, your fucking stank face will still be there, because it's not about the followers and it's not about the money. It's always about the music, the soul, the heart. And thank you for sharing your mind with us here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Definitely. KohPhanCast, guys. The official podcast of KohPhanCast Island, apparently.
Join the journey, stay for a while.